Okay, hello guys, my name is Chinameram Andrew, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to design an Instagram image with your PowerPoint, right? So here's the Instagram kind of images that I'm talking about. If you're into Instagram and social media marketing or anything that has to do with business or social media, so this is a new account that I created for myself and it's a very good place to start this video. I already have a few followers. I haven't really done much on this account, as you can see, 0 posts. And this is basically Instagram telling me to get it on my phone and stop using laptop. So this is what we're going for. We're going for some of this quotes kind of thing. So a good example will be Millionaire Mentor. So let's see, Millionaire Mentor, right? So if you go through his account, you will see some pictures like this, the basic quote pictures. You have a picture and you have something like this. Basic stuff like that. You have things like this, right? Very, very simple stuff. You have things like this. Very simple stuff that you can make, and you can make them even using, right? You have something like this. Well, you can make this picture, but you can't make the video. For the video, you actually need to take a video. So, well, how to make something like this using your basic PowerPoint, something like this, right? This is what we're going to be going for. Now, why are we doing this? Is because most laptops, if you have a laptop, you have something like PowerPoint or something similar to PowerPoint that comes naturally with your laptop. And the thing is that many people think that you actually need to get something like Photoshop or you have to buy a software or something like that before you're able to make simple quotes or simple graphics like this. It's not true, okay? So for a very long time, I've been doing social media management for a very long time now, and I have made hundreds of pictures, hundreds and hundreds of pictures. Until today, I do not have Photoshop, right? Later on, I started using another software called Affinity Photo. It's just like Photoshop, but it's way less expensive than Photoshop. It's much more affordable than Photoshop. You buy it only once and you forget about it. You don't have to pay the monthly subscription like Photoshop does, right? So before that, before I even got the Affinity, I've been using things like PowerPoint and things like Canva to make my own pictures. And there are so many courses out there where they teach you how to make um, things with Canva, but nobody ever teaches you how to make things with PowerPoint. Very few people out there teach how to make things with PowerPoint. So I decided that I'm going to make a video for you. Let me give you another example of something that you can make with PowerPoint. So this is Bishop Baron. I just went on Instagram before I started making this video to find some things like that. So here's another example. God has, right? So you have somebody here, you have a background, and you have this thing going on right here. And you have this one where you have an image, and then this fades here, and you have stuff going on here, a picture, right? So a lot of people actually think that you need Photoshop or you need some sophisticated software. You actually don't. So I've shown you a few examples. Let's get to it. So the first thing you need to have, obviously, let me just delete this. I hate seeing it full. For whatever reason, I still don't know. So you have PowerPoint, right? If you open PowerPoint normally, this is where you're going to start. You start with a blank presentation, right? And immediately you get this out. So you just highlight everything. Let me do that again so that you see it. You highlight everything. If you're on Mac, it's Command A. If you're on Windows, it's Control A. So for the rest of this video, I'm just going to assume you're using Mac. Or better yet, I'm just not going to do any shortcuts. I'll do everything with my mouse. So if I'm doing a shortcut, I'll tell you what exactly the shortcut is that I'm pressing so that you know. So we delete this. Everybody knows how to delete, right? So you delete this, right? And this is what you're going to have if it's on home. I'm using the Microsoft 365. So it has downloaded the 2016 version of Microsoft PowerPoint, right? So if you have a registration with 365, whenever there's an update, they just update it for you and then you're good to go. So this is the latest one, right? If you have one that is before this, or if you're watching this video sometime after July 2019 in the future, and there's like a PowerPoint like 2027, some of these things may still apply because the outlay is fairly the same, right? Like between 1995 and 2016, some things are still there, and you can generally find your way. So if you just click around, most of the things that I have here, even though you don't have the exact 2016 that I'm using right now, you will still be able to find most of the things that I'm going to be using, right? Because I'm not using anything fancy. I'm just using basic stuff. So what is the first thing that you need to know? First thing that you need to know is that this dimension is clearly not what you see on PowerPoint, on Instagram, I mean, right? On Instagram. So this dimension right here is called 16 by 9, and it's clearly not what's on Instagram. Instagram has square pictures. So if we go back there, we can see that, right? The Instagram pictures are square, and you need to know what the dimensions are. An easy way to know the dimensions of whatever it is that you're going to be creating is to come here and do Instagram pictures dimensions, right? So when you do Instagram pictures dimensions, what do you find? You find that big photos like this are 1080 by 1080, right? So this is the one that is most advised that people use, 1080 by 1080 pixels. Now, whenever you're looking at dimension, it's always good to know the unit that they're talking about. Pixels can be written like this, or it can also be written as px right here. So it's always good to know the unit that you're using, because it could be inches, it could be centimeters, it could be pixels, right? All of them are not the same, and there's a conversion. If you find your stuff in pixels, you need to do a conversion. So you can do pixels to inches, right? So that in case you don't have that, and then you see all these conversions, and you can go and type in whatever it is. So if someone tells you 1080, for example, and you don't know what it is in inches, it's 1125 inches. So you can always convert to and fro. You can put your inches and it will tell you what it is in pixels, or you can put your pixels and it will tell you what it is in, you get the point. So we're using 1080, right? 1080 by 1080. So you come back here to PowerPoint. So we know it's 1080 by 1080, and you go to design, right? And then when you go to design, you go over to the very end and you find slide size, and you go to page setup. Now on page setup, here we are, right? This is in centimeters, but we type 1080 space px and we click here. So it converted it to centimeters because it understands centimeters better. I don't know why. Px. And then look, both of them are the same right now, right? So, okay. It will tell you, do you want to scale up or do you want to not scale? This is relevant if you already have text on this. So it will be scaling the text that you already have on what you were designing. But since we did not put any text, it doesn't matter whether we click scale or don't scale, because there's nothing there to even bother it. So I'm just going to click scale, right? So it's now a box. So we are good. We've started. We're very good. So first thing you need to do is to get your picture. So I'm going to give you an example of how to find pictures. So let's close this one now. Here's how we're going to get pictures. First of all, let's do an example. Let's say we want to make something about fitness, right? Something about fitness and perseverance, right? Some people are just going to come here to Google and just type fitness, go to images, and come here and start taking pictures off here immediately. No, we never do that. Why? Because these are other people's content. This is bentfitness.com's picture. This is Business Insider's picture. This is shape.com's picture. This is lifetime.life picture. These are other people's pictures, and they paid for this, or they got a photographer to take this. So they basically invested to get this stuff, and so it's not free. If you use it, you're doing copyright violations. Okay, even when you come here sometimes. So sometimes you can come to not settings, I think it's tools. So you can come to tools and you can come to usage rights and you can click labeled for reuse, right? And then you see all these pictures. Even when you click labeled for reuse, you cannot be sure, right? You cannot be sure because you found them on Google and a bunch of other people are using them. The only way that you can be absolutely 100% sure that the picture you're going to use is free is if you get it on a free picture site, right? They're called stock photo sites. So, stock photo sites. That's what they are. You can see a bunch of paid ones like iStock Photos, Shutterstock, Vector Stock, Deposit Photos. You can see all of them. Shutterstock is really good. A lot of people like them. Deposit Photos, just about last week, one of my friends paid for Deposit Photos. They're really good. So let me just show you what they look like. Wow, the Wi-Fi has to be that slow, doesn't it? Okay, this is what it looks like, right? You see a bunch of stuff. You can see videos, you can see pictures, you can download whatever it is that you want to use, whatever you like. And then when you're ready, so let's pick something. Let's say we pick photos and we come to family vacation. I'm just giving you an example of how you can get pictures if you have money to pay for it, right? And I'll show you how to get the free ones. So you come here, let's say I'm looking for this dude. Oh, these people look a lot happier. Let's look for happy people. Oh, look at this one. I like this one. Okay, so let's say you pick this one. You're going to see a big watermark here, Shutterstock, which means you're not allowed to use this for free, obviously. So what you're going to do now is to create a free account. I think you get a free trial. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, you get to the point where you actually need to pay, right? Let's see the sign up. So this is what you're going to get when you sign up, okay? And then you can buy stuff, you can buy pictures, etc., etc. But let me show you. So those are all the paid ones. Those are all the paid ones that you can get. Shutterstock, you can go to in all of them, the way to find pictures is to just type it. So let's say I'm looking for fitness. I will just type it there and then right here, and then it will show fitness and it will show a bunch of fit people, right? So if I say beach fitness, maybe I'll find people working out on the beach. Here you see all of that. And then so it depends on how you search, right? And then let's say you're seeing a lot of ladies and you want more men. You just specify, right? Man or something like that. And then you now see more men showing up. Okay, so that's basically how you search. And you find this all over the page and the free ones. So let me give you some free ones that you can look up. One of them is called Unsplash. Okay, first one is called Unsplash. Second one is called Pixabay. Pixabay. And then the third one is called Pexels. These three are places that you can find a lot of free stuff, and you're sure that they're free because they say they're free, always free. So let me do a simple search here, fitness, and I'm seeing a bunch of stuff. Okay. Choosing a picture is one of the things that might take a lot of time because you need to have something in mind before you start choosing. Let's check if Pixabay is going to have something. So basically, I'm just trying to create a generic, simple pic. Okay, look at this picture. We saw it among these guys, right? Look at him here. So it means these people also took, look at this picture. And if we come here, we can see that picture as well here. So it means these people also took their pictures from here, right? Okay, so these are people. Let's check here and see what kind they will have for fitness. And then once you get what you're looking for, you take it and you run. You always take and run. Don't look back. All right, so let's come back here. There are some pictures that I saw here that I liked, and I was going below to see if I was going to find more pictures and more pictures. Whenever you're doing this, you always have preferences. You always have the kind of pictures that you will like that are according to your brand, and then you have pictures that you don't really care for. So I like the way this one is. It's not really somebody working out, but it's kind of like somebody's timely and right. I like this one too, the way this one is. It's also nice. Okay, so we're going to use this one, right? Oh, it's a little blurry. So look at that. I don't know if you can see this. All of this is blurry. So I can't use that. I want my pictures to be crisp. I want my pictures to be great. Okay, so let me use this one if it's not blurry. Okay, here is very clear, and then this part is, like that. Okay, so I download it, and then I'm going to save it with a name I can remember, steps. All right, so we have our picture. The next thing we do is we go back here and we insert picture. So to insert, you either click insert here or you click insert from up here, right? Insert from up here, you have to go all the way to picture and then picture from file, and if you click that, it's going to work. Let me just show you. And then you pick whatever it is, right, in your downloads, or you can come here, click insert, come here to pictures, and come here to picture from file. So whichever one you can find easily, great. Okay, so we put this one, we insert this one. All right, and look at where it covered. So just so you know, what you see here, you see this place, what you see here is how it's going to show. All right, it's how it's going to show when you save the entire thing as a picture. So if you have a big picture like this, right, let me stretch it out, right? What I'm seeing here is just his feet and this area. The rest of the stuff, all this part is going to be cut out. All right, so you need to be aware of that. The part that is not in the box, this white box, is going to be cut out, and that is something you need to keep in mind. All right, so let's say we have this. Okay, there are two ways you can do this. Way number one is to put it here where you have control over the size and over the shape and all of that. Way number two, and I'm just going to right click here and put a new slide and then highlight everything and delete it. Way number two is to right click, come here to format background, and then put picture or text field, then go insert, right? And then put the picture. So here you have no control over it. You see, I can't drag it out, I can't pull it away, and it stays there fixed. These two have their advantages and their disadvantages. In this one, if you have a text, I'm just going to do this very quickly. And let's say my text is blah blah blah, and yeah, let's just increase that. This is just a very horrible example. I'm going to show you how to do proper text, but I just want to get my point quickly. So let's say we have this text, right? And I'm designing this text and I'm dragging it and everything. I could mistakenly pull out the picture. You see how that happened? So you could mistakenly pull out the picture. And that is the disadvantage of that. But if you come to this second one where I put it as the background and the text is there, you can never mistakenly pull out the picture like that. So that's one of the advantages of putting it at the back. But a disadvantage is that you have to be focused on here. So let's say for whatever reason, let's delete this one. Let's say for whatever reason, I didn't want the focus to be on this foot, right? Let's say I wanted the focus to be on the stairs, for example. With this style, I can make that possible. I can make this foot the focus. So let me drag this out so that you can see it properly. I can make this foot the focus, the fast moving foot, but in this one, I have to stick to this. All right. So you can't change it, right? You can't. But in this one, you can't change it. But in the top one, you can change it. All right. So let's take everything back to the way it was normally. So for the sake of this particular video, I'm going to use, whenever you zoom in too much, look at my mouse, you can always come down here and click this, right? And then it's going to put it in the biggest form, and then you can do that. Okay, so it snaps. What that one at the end does, this one, is that it snaps it to the size of the box, of the white box that you have to work with, right? That it snaps it to it and where the picture is. Okay, so you have it just exactly the size, but then you can adjust the size using this bigger, smaller. So we're going to keep it a little bit small. I'm going to delete this one now so that we can see everything that we are doing. So let's say we zoom this picture out and bring it down. Okay, and all the while I'm looking here so that I will know what is in focus and what is out of focus. Okay, so let's say I bring it down here, and where you position a picture is also dependent on what you want to write. So this is the advice I always give people. Whenever you have the exact dimensions that you're looking for and whatever it is that you want to be in focus, crop out the remaining, right? Crop out the remaining so that you know exactly where your box stops. So, for example, our box stops here, right here, but we can't see it, so we don't know what's going on. We just have to guess. So I always say crop out the remaining so that you know exactly what's going on. So this is not how to crop. You don't do this. Never do that because you shrink the image. Right? So I'm going to press Command Z or Control Z so that it's going to go back. Okay. So how do you crop? Right? There is this place that you can put for PowerPoint 2016. You can put all the shortcuts you want, the ones you use often. So you can just click down here, go to more commands, and then click whatever shortcut you want and bring it over to this side. These are the ones that I use often: align to middle, align to center, distribute, center back, autosave, master, blah, blah, blah. And so I can add any more. I can add copy and bring it over here, or I can click it and take it back here if I don't want it. And then when you finish, you do save, and then you close. And for Mac, it saves everything here, right? But in the beginning, what is going to be saved here is things like save, undo, blah, blah, blah. And so you're not going to find all of them here. So how do you find crop? I advise that if you're going to design with, okay. So I advise that if you're going to design with PowerPoint a lot, you need to put all your shortcuts up here, right? Because you don't want to always, because now I can just come here and click crop and it's crop. You don't want to always be going into insert and blah, blah, blah and looking for something, right? You can just come here and click it. So let me tell you where to find it. You come over here to home and you click home. Home is clicked, and then you go to arrange, and then you come down, right? This place you can see how to center it, right? This will be very important where you're coming to get what do you call it, where you're centering text. You need to know where everything is. So the first one is where you're centering text. If you want to change colors of lines, you have them in home as well. If you want to change the fill, you have them in home. The reason I'm pointing all of this out is because we are going to come to them very often throughout this video, but we wanted to find crop in the first place. So first of all, this has to be clicked. Notice there's something here you notice disappears and appears. If it's clicked, picture format appears. If it's not clicked, picture format disappears. So we go to picture format, which is most of what you're going to need for pictures, and then you come over here to crop, right? And then we crop it. You see that line? You can see it a little bit transparently. So you come to the line, it's going to snap, and you let it go. You do the same thing for the bottom, snap, you let it go. You do the same thing for here, you pass the line, you see the line, good, and the top is already there, right? Yeah. And then when you finish, you press the escape key on your keyboard, and then it's there. So everything is snapped right there. And then we can press this so that it zooms, right? This is what I press by the right hand side. Okay, so I'm doing everything very slowly. So this is this. We have this, so we know where the box starts and where the box ends. And it's the same thing we are seeing here. What's the next thing you have to put? Your text. So let me do a very okay, so I could just do keep moving forward, one step at a time. Let's say that's what I want to use as my quote, and then you press escape. Okay, I should have probably written everything in small letters. Keep moving forward, one step at a time. Maybe I should put a comma there and probably a full stop at the end. Then you press escape, right? When you press escape, if you're on home, right, you can come here and you can change the font size to, I don't know what's going to be good, 40, 80, right? And then we just press enter or something so that they're all in one place, or we can reduce here, right? So we have that. We need to see it, so we make it white text, and then we can increase it a little more, say 96, maybe I need to break it up some more. Keep moving forward, one step, and then I'll put at a time on the next line. Nah, that's too much. Keep moving forward, one step at a time. Okay, so we have that. Now, what do you notice? What's the first thing you notice? You notice, hey, Andrew, this is too bright. I can't read anything you're saying. Well, good job. You noticed that. So we need to put a dark color over this, right? So we come here and we put a box. Okay. How did I get that? Let me start again. I came to home, right? This is home, and I went all the way to the right, and I put box. You can also find this if you come to insert. You see shapes. You do that. You can also find it if you come to the insert at the top. You see shapes. You put rectangle. So one thing, you can find it from home all the way here. You can find it at insert all the way here, and you can find it insert all the way down here, right? But I prefer just not clicking too much. So we're doing it with home. So we do that, and then we cover it from the edge of the box to the edge of the other box, right? And then what's the first thing we do? We remove the lines, no outline, and we make this black. Now somebody's going to say, hey yo, hey Andrew, I can't see nothing. I understand. So how do we make you see that? You right click and you go to format shape. Okay? And then you increase the transparency. Now here's something you want, right? We have the box. Okay, let me take the transparency back to 0. You have the box which is completely black. You have our picture here, which is picture, and then you have the text. The black is supposed to be between the text and the picture, right? The picture is supposed to be just on top of the picture, but the text should be on top of the black. So in order to achieve that, after you've made sure that this is the size, because we did it the exact size, you see all the sizes fit, and we've taken out the line color, no outline. Why are we doing no outline? Because we don't have some blueness showing at the edge telling everybody that we have a box. Duh, we don't want that. So what we want instead is for this to be here, we take this one, right? We click on the text and then we go to arrange and we click bring to front. Now the text is over the black box, and look, the black box is over the picture. See how we did that? We just took the black box aside, we clicked the text, we went to arrange. Arrange again is under home, right? Home. Then you go to arrange and you do bring to front. Very basic. And then you bring this one here. I'm doing everything so slowly, man. So when you click the box, remember you have to be clicking the box. You can't do this while you're clicking the text. You click the box. When you click the box, you come here and you put it at a level where you think you can read the text, but you can also see the picture, right? So this is one way of doing this. So let's say I put it at 50. Now everybody can read the text, right? Every single person can read the text, right? So this is not some cool text. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You see the way my text is? Keep moving forward, one step at a time. It looks like what a child wrote. There is a particular feel that, let's go back to Instagram. I'm gonna close this now. There's a particular feel that the Instagram accounts have, and that's something that we're going with. Okay, let me show you one account. Money Mind Action. Look at that. Look at that. Right? So notice what's going on here. You see this text is so motivation. It's just motivating you. Whoa. Right? And then you see this kind of text. Oh, come on, load. Okay, this one doesn't want to load for whatever reason. It's not telling me. So I'm just going to show you here. You see this kind of text, right? You see this kind of text? Awesome stuff. You see, this text is not so strong, right? Right? You see this kind of stuff. Let me show you. Let's go back to Millionaire Mentor. You see Millionaire Mentor? I'm just using him as an example. You see how strong his text look? You see how strong they look? Let's go over here. Motivational quotes, Instagram. There's a particular vibe that Instagram quotes have gotten known with, and people are now looking for that, right? If you're in the motivation niche, you see that? They have a certain strength about them. Okay, business isn't always sweet. Get used to it, baby. Okay, strong, right? Occasionally you're going to see stuff like this. It happens. Occasionally you're going to see stuff like this. It also happens. It depends on the kind of style, the kind of brand you're going for, right? But generally, motivational quotes, what is called motivational quotes on Instagram, will look something like this. They have to be, a certain strong, right? The text has to be a little strongish, okay? So you can easily find those kind of texts, right? I have a few that I like. So we can just go through them and we will see them. Let me give you an example. If you have something like this, it looks cool a little bit, but not really that style we're working with. If you have something like this, it looks like a book. If you have something like this, oh, you're starting to get that vibe, eh? You're starting to get that motivation vibe, right? So things like that, things like Dean, you're starting to get that motivation vibe, Okay, so we're going to use Ding. Let's use the Ding stuff, for example. And this doesn't come naturally with everybody's stuff. Okay, so let me show you how you can get yourself a font that doesn't come naturally with PowerPoint. You come here and you search fonts, and you see da font 1011 of fonts 1001 fonts. You see fonts.com. You see Instagram fonts generator. No, I don't think that does the same thing. You see font squirrel. Yeah, font squirrel. So let's just go to da font, and you have a bunch of fonts to choose from, right? So let's say, I don't really know what I'm looking for, but let's say we're looking for square. What is square? Definitely not what we're looking for. So let's go with more Western. Okay, not that either. Basic. I think, but yeah, basic is what we're looking for. So we have Beba Snur. It looks kind of like what we're looking for. We have Bebas. We have Coolvetica. We have Nemesis Grant. We have Coco Goose. We have the bold font. We have Hinderberg. Right, stuff like that. Azonix, Keep Calm. I like this Keep Calm font. I definitely like this Keep Calm font. So I'm going to download it. So that's how you get a new font. Right? Keep Calm. You download it, and then it comes here, right? And then let's go see where it is. Okay, so if you have, let me change this view. If you have a Mac, this is how it's going to show as a zip file. If you double click it, it's just going to unzip right there. Let me arrange this stuff. I don't know why it's so disarranged, like kind of. So it's just going to unzip, then you can delete this one, right? Straight up. So this one now has our font. If you're using a Windows, you will have to right click and unzip. If you have WinRAR, right? If you don't have WinRAR, you probably need to get WinRAR. So that's WinRAR. You can just come here. It's a free stuff you can download. See WinRAR. The other one is RAR Lab, and they give you all the versions. So you just download in whatever language you speak. If you're watching this video, then you probably speak English, and most laptops now are 64-bit, not 32-bit, unless you have a very old laptop which was 32-bit. You can always check what your laptop is. But if you have Mac, you don't need all of this stuff. You just saw the way I double clicked it and it unzipped, right? So you come here, keep calm, and then you come here and you open it, double click. And when you double click, it's going to say install font. And you click install font, and boom, boom, your font is installed. Now you have a font called Keep Calm, right? And it's just Keep Calm regular. Okay, so you don't need to stress about that. Now, if you come to your PowerPoint, I don't think so. Sometimes if you just type in the name, it's going to show, but not in this case, right? Sometimes it's just going to do that, but not always. So to get it to show here, you will need to close your PowerPoint and open it back. So a lot of people say, I've already designed so much, I'm closing. No, you just silly, you close and you save. So I'm going to save it on my Mac, right? And I'm going to save it as Instagram quotes. Let's call it Instagram quotes. I'm going to save it as that. So now that I've saved it as that, it has closed. I come back here, open it again. So you open back your file that you've been working with, and then you come here, and now your Keep Calm is a font, just like that. Oops. This thing about be crazy. Okay, let's go here and find out what's wrong. So I like that all these things are coming up here so that in case they come up, you know exactly what's going on, right? So let's figure this out. We came here, we did install font, and then you need to know the name of the font. So you have Keep Calm, as one thing. There it is. Great. Oh, this font must be crazy. This font must be messing with me. It must really be messing with me. I'm going to teach you now how to figure this out. So here's one of the problems that I notice usually happens if you close your stuff like that. Let me show you again. If you close it like this, if you have a Mac, this problem only happens if you have a Mac. It doesn't happen if you have a Windows. Because look down here, the dock, right? You see the PowerPoint is open and then you close it. Notice something, the PowerPoint is still there. So technically you didn't close it. So you have to quit it completely. Now it's gone. Then you open back PowerPoint and it's back, right? You open it back completely. So I noticed that, and it's good I made that mistake here for y'all to see, right? So that you won't freak out like me just freaking out now. So our keep calm is now there, you see? It recognized it and it's there. If you go down to K, you suppose, oh, we passed K. E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Keep calm, right? And then we click keep calm, and keep calm will now be applied, ladies and gentlemen, to my text. All right? I like that. So let's make everything capital. Keep moving forward. I'm not doing the one step at a time anymore. I'm just doing keep moving forward because I feel like, yeah, it really says what I wanted to say. Keep moving forward, right? So we're making the text small. You can do that by clicking here. You can make it big by clicking here. Or if you have a Mac, you can do Control Shift full stop. You see the full stop button where you put your period. So right beside M on your keyboard. Beside M is a comma and then you have a full stop next to it, right? So you can do that as a shortcut and then it's going to do this. Okay, so you have keep moving forward. Excellente. So what you need to do next is to have your other text about your Instagram. So you put at and Shinamaram Andrew. Okay, so I'm just putting my name now, the name of my Instagram, and then we'll also paint that on white. Maybe not white, we can paint it a little blur, right? And I already showed you how to download fonts. Eventually, when you design for a long time, you start seeing that, man, I can't be using this generic font. I need sweet fonts, and you start downloading a bunch of sweet fonts until you have a whole army of sweet fonts, and you love the fonts, and you want to get married to all your fonts. And so when you go to another person's laptop and they don't have your font, you're like, dude, how have you been living your life without basic font? I like Helvetica New. I think I'm going to use Helvetica New, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. Let's just leave it on you. No, Helvetica New is way better than that one. Or I could do Bebas New Light. Nah. Bebas New only has capital letters for some reason. Roboto Thin. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so my name combined like this is clearly not English, so PowerPoint is going to underline it. So let's see how it does. We come to slideshow, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is what everybody is going to see. Okay? Why are they seeing everything dark? That's not nice. We should help them see something bright. which brings me to the second part of what we're doing here, right? So you may have designed something like this from beginning to end complete, and then you're telling yourself, oh, hey, we need to try something different and see if we're going to like it better. And you want to try it here, dude, don't do that. You come here and you right click and you do duplicate slide. You have the exact same thing. Why do we duplicate slide? Because if you mess this up and you don't like it and you want to go back to the way it was originally and you can't go back to that, you're going to hate yourself. I have hated myself more times than I can count. And so I just duplicate slide now whenever I have a great idea. Okay, so this is my great idea. Hey, we need to make this bigger. Nope. Control Z. So make sure your cursor is not in while you're making it bigger, otherwise you make only one word. Click outside, right, like that. Or if your cursor is there, you can just press escape and now the whole box is selected, and then you do that to increase it, or your shortcut keys. Eventually, when you do this for a very long time, you memorize a lot of shortcut keys. Okay, so now we have this, and then we have this one should come down a little bit, and then we put it on slideshow. So we have this keep moving forward, or this keep moving forward, or this keep moving forward, or this keep moving forward, and then you decide which one you like. I think I don't like this one. I like the first one. So we're going to duplicate the first one again, and I'll show you something else. So a lot of people might be thinking, dude, you have such a beautiful picture behind. Just look at it. It's so bright. Why have you darkened the entire thing and now it looks hideous? So there are two ways you can fix this if you think this looks hideous. One way is to change the color from black. I always notice that black sometimes doesn't work. It can work sometimes, but sometimes it may not work. And the other color you should try is dark blue. You see, dark blue, just give it a little bit right there. Let's go to format shape and change the transparency, right, slightly, and see how it goes. Okay, so if this is something that you're going for, great. You always want to put the picture that the color has naturally. Well, not always. Sometimes you put black, or you put the picture that the color has naturally. So that's why I put blue. You see the picture has blue. If you take this out, you notice that the picture has blue naturally. Let's make this go down a little. It's taking up too much space. So if the picture has blue naturally and you put blue naturally, it sort of complements it. But you still notice a basic flaw. We only need this stuff, the stuff over it, so that we can read the text, right? They keep moving forward, because we realize that when it's like this, it's difficult to read. So the question that I asked myself when I was still a baby at this is, why on earth do we need to cover the entire picture if we only need this side to be dark? Good question. So this is what you do. You reduce it to half, about half. That way this place is bright and clear and beautiful. And then you change this one from solid fill. So let's assume here is closed so that you know how we get there. You click on it, right click, and you go to format shape. I've said this many times. So you come here to, from solid fill, you change it to gradient fill. Okay? And the first thing that I always tell people to do is to delete this two in the middle, so that you only have one at the end and one here. That way you know who's controlling what. So this is white and this is blue, and you see the top is white and the bottom is blue. What does that tell you? This guy controls the top and this guy controls the bottom. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is to put two of them the same color after knowing what each one does. Okay, first thing you need to do, this one should be at the extreme end, this one should be at the extreme here, and you put two of them the same color. So this one, we change the color to blue, and then this one, we change the color as well to blue. Okay, then you do something very beautiful. Right here, you make here 100% transparent. You see what just happened? Let's go back. It was on 0. You make it 100% transparent. And just like that, you have a beautiful fading stuff going on there. You seeing that? Amazing. So, what's the point of all this? You can click somewhere and drag the color even more forward. You can decide where that one starts and where it stops. Let's remove that. You can click here and decide where it starts and where it stops. All right. So most people like to add an in between so that they can do a flowing gradient. So let's say you click here and you can make it to be, say, 50 or 75% transparent so that we have a slight progression from the top into the bottom. So let's make that a little lower, 18%, 20. And then you see, so there's a slight progression from the top into the bottom. Now, if you're very observant, you're going to notice that the top here, the blue here, is completely different from the blue down here. Well, thank you for noticing. Okay, let's put this at 50%. I hate such small differences. I like it 0%, 50%, 100%, usually, or 0%, 25%, 75%, 100%. Okay, so back to what we were saying. So you notice that the blue is a different blue from this blue, right? Thank you for noticing. Again, I love this. I don't want to ruin it. So what do? Duplicate slide, just in case what I do next is horrible. Okay? Wow. So here's what you do. You come here and you come here, more colors, then you pick a color. You see this color picker? You click the color picker and then you can pick a blue from what you're designing. So let's pick under this guy's shoe is pretty dark, so we can pick a blue from there. I pick that blue and I say okay. Now you see the blue is a little bit related. You pick that same blue here and then you pick that same blue here. Okay, change this one back to 100% and change this one back to 20%, just the way it was. And so you have a nice blue that was taken from this picture, and so it's not fighting with the picture anymore because it was taken from this picture. All right, and so if I drag this one down a little bit, let me make sure it's centralized, and then drag this one, make it centralized as well, right? So you have something like that. Now, if you're ever not confident about this, you can always drag this. The fading is going to go lower. I don't like that, so I'm going to Control Z it, right? And then voila, that's what you have. Keep moving forward. So we start from the beginning again. Ooh, look at what it was before. We've come a long way, huh? So we have this, then we went to this, and then we went to this. Look at the small change. This one had a purplish blue here that wasn't from this picture, and so it was somehow fighting with the picture a little. And when you give the picture its own blue, look at what happened. It looks nicer, it looks beautiful, it looks sweet. So that immediately, so when you're sure of what you want, you can delete the other two. Boom, and then you're gone. All right, so that's how you can create something like that, something very beautiful like that. I am going to show you how you can create something slightly different. So let's do a new slide. Let's start afresh. Okay? And this is what you do. Let's say you want to create different shapes. You want to create um I don't know what we're trying to create. Let's go and look for motivational guys on Instagram and see what they created. Right? So Again, Millionaire Mentor is a very big account, so I always like to use him to teach people because 4.7 million, he's doing a lot of things right. He may not be doing everything right if you think he's not doing everything right, but he's doing a lot of things right. So here is this stuff, right? There are a lot of icons and graphics here, and sometimes you can pay to get them. Okay, let me just show you some places. One place you can find icons is on, guess what? Icon Finder, right? And you can come to Icon Finder, and there are a lot of free ones and there are a lot of paid ones. So let's see some of the icons. He has, what's this? Fries. Let's type fries. And you see a bunch of fries. And they're $2, $2, $2.50. If you click free, you could get a lot of fries for free. So look at these fries, you can get that fries for free. You can get these fries for free, all of that. And what does he have here? He has a clock. Is that a stopwatch? Yeah, so you have stopwatches that you can do, right? But there will always be one of those times where you just cannot find it anywhere, or you just want to make your own. All right? So, how do you do that? First of all, let me tell you how to use this one. So, if you want to use this one, before you download it, you should come here and you should edit it. They have an icon editor. And then you go to the icon editor and you will see it open right here. So you can take this yellow and you can click here and you can say you don't want it yellow, you want it red. And now the yellow is red. And you can take this green right here and say you don't want it green, you want it light blue. And now it's light blue. And you can keep messing up with the picture until you have exactly what you want. Say black, and let's say this one is also black. So it looks unique to you, and that even if somebody comes here someday to look for something here, they will never guess that you got your stuff from here, right? They will think that you are just a creative genius and that, oh my gosh, you made this, right? So I'm wondering how I can make, okay, maybe we need to zoom a little. Anyway, you get the point. So after you finish changing everything, you do download icon and you save it. I usually like to save it as the highest PNG so that it's very clear, right? If you save it low, when you stretch it out, it's going to be blurry. If you save it as the highest, it's clear. Or if you have something like Affinity Designer or Affinity Publisher or something like that, or Affinity Photo, you can get the vector and you can edit it even better on your laptop if you know how to do that kind of stuff. If you don't, boom, forget about it. Just get the PNG and paste it. Okay, so now let's say we searched all over and we couldn't find an hourglass, right? We couldn't just find an hourglass no matter what we did. Here's how you're going to make an hourglass on PowerPoint. You come to PowerPoint and you basically what you're doing is that you're looking for the parts that make up an hourglass. So let's say hourglass. What does an hourglass look like? Okay. Let's take something as basic as this. We'll copy it, copy image. So we can't use this one. Why? Can you remember why we can't use it? It's someone else's picture and we're going to get into legal trouble. So you paste it here, paste, and now we have that as reference that we can use, okay? So you stay there, young man, and you become our reference. So here we analyze what are the shapes that make up this hourglass. Well, look here. Here looks like a small semicircle with a little triangular tip here, and then the same thing is inverted here, and then we have a little, rectangular but cylindrical thing here, and the same thing here, and then we have sand inside. So I'm not going to do the sand, we'll just do the outside. So we come to our shapes. So remember how to find shape. You come here, come to home, you go to your shapes. So what are the shapes you're looking for? We're looking for something like that. Is a teardrop. It's like a semicircle with a triangle at the end, right? Or you can have an actual semicircle and put your own triangle at the end. But let's do the teardrop instead. So I'm holding down shift. Holding down shift makes it easy to draw it in the shape that is supposed to come out. If you don't hold shift, so now I'm not holding shift, see what you have to deal with, right? But if you hold shift, it's very nice. So you let go, there it is. Nope, that's not what we want. Neither is that. Something like this is cool. And then you take this and you rotate it. What are you seeing? You're starting to see this, right? The top part. So we've rotated it, and this can come in a little like that. Great. And that is that. Okay? Then the next thing we do is that we come here and we take this stuff and we put it over here. Can anybody guess what we're trying to do? I'm talking to myself. Yes! I can guess. We're trying to cut off the top. Okay? Yeah, because the top has to be flat. Good answer. So this is how we cut it off. You click this and you click this, then you come over here to shape format, and then you have these tools and you click fragment. It breaks everything, right? So you can come here, take this one out, and then you highlight all of this and you have that. Ain't that such a beauty? Okay, look, you see all these lines that we have at the edges? We don't want that because it's going to spoil a lot of stuff. So you come over here. If you're on shape format, it's going to be here, but if you're on home, it's going to be all the way here. Okay, so it depends on where you are. And then you remove outline. So we have something like that, right? We need two of that. So what do? We do Control D or Command D. Okay? If you're using a Mac, it's Command D. If you're using a Windows, it's Control D. Then you come here to Arrange because you're still on Home. And you do Arrange. And you come to Rotate. And you flip vertical. Boom. And now we flipped it. So now it's the same thing upside down. You make them merge at the bottom. Right there. And you're starting to get what you've been looking for in it. So you can press up a little and you see something similar to what you've been looking for. All right. Okay. So let us zoom. Okay, let me just put a little like circular stuff on the top. To make it look a little ish. Something ish. Okay, take that away. Okay, and of course you have to remove the line, the outline, so nobody can tell. Most times you will have to zoom in. So I told you how to zoom in. You come here and you do that. Or if your laptop can do pinch zoom, you just pinch the keypad and the keypad is going to zoom it for you. Okay, so you have it zoomed like that. Great. Oops. So let's say you figured out this stuff, right? And you made that side slightly bulgy. You can copy all of them, right click like this and do group, and they will be grouped. Now when you want to increase or decrease, you go up like one object, right? So you have an hourglass, and then you can have hourglass stuff here. Okay, so that is how you can make new shapes. There are so many new shapes you can make just by doing that. Let me show you another example, right? So let's say we have a box and you want a little curve inside the box. You can come here, you can get a circle, and you can put that circle in there, right? And the circle is in there, and then you can click here, come to shape format. So you click two of them. To click two of them, you have to click one, hold command or control, depending on whether you're PC or Mac, and then click the second one. Or you can just click and drag and highlight both of them, right? So however, whichever one you want to do. So we come here to shape format and then to this stuff, and then we fragment it. Okay, then we take this one, delete it, we take this one, delete it. Now you have a big square inside your box. Okay, so we can say let's assume we're drawing the plan of a house. Control Command D is to duplicate, and then you come here and you bring this one here, and then you take out the lines, because you know me, I don't like lines. So we're on shape format, that's why this stuff has moved here. Remember, if we were on home, it would be somewhere around here. Okay, so we come here, we do no outline, so they have no outline, looks like one seamless stuff. And actually, now that I'm here, I'm thinking of a different idea. We can do a criminal, right? So let's do a criminal instead. So we get him here. I'm going to show you how creative you can be with this. The limit is literally your creativity. All right. So we have that, and somebody's going to say, "Oh, how is that a criminal?" And I say, "Don't worry, I'm gonna show you." So we click here so that it zooms in for us. We put one here, and it's over here. We duplicate it. We bring the other one over here. We make two of them to have no lines, and they should both be black. And we make these ones to both be black. Can you see how this is slowly becoming a criminal? No, you can't. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to show you. So you put something like that, and you do what? You take it behind. So we're on home, and then you put arrange, send to back. Okay, and then you have that like that, and that like that. We make it what color do we make it? We make it slightly grayish. Okay, and we remove the line. And we come to his mouth now, and you have to give him, I want to give him a smiley mouth. So this is how I'm going to make a smiley mouth. I do something like an oval, and then I take a square in the same way I just taught you, and I take a square and I put it over here. I click two of them, shape format, and I fragment them. Then delete here, delete here. What do you have here? A smiley mouth of a criminal. So we remove outline, and then we make this one white. Great. Now I don't know what a nose looks like. What do people's nose look like? Do they look like triangles? Let's try and see. Ooh, it does look like a triangle. Okay, so we make the nose have no outline and to be red because we're trying to be funny. Or nope, not a good color. Doesn't go well with his eyes. So we make it blue instead. And we make this one to be white. That was a stupid idea because the background is white as well. So we changed the background to be a little bit grayish. And his mouth now has to also be a little bit grayish. You get the point I'm making. Basically, the limit to what you can design or create is your imagination, right? So if I wanted to do something with an icon where there's a thief, so after you do this, you can either group it, group in here, where you can group it like that and then increase it and do whatever you want, or something else, which I'm going to show you now. But what is the advantage of the second one? The advantage is, let's say this criminal had a tattoo on his mouth. So let's say he had a tattoo on his mouth that said "Die Hard" or something. This is a very interesting criminal. So he had a tattoo here that said "Die Hard," right? Okay. So if you just highlighted everything and you did group and you did that, notice that the "Die Hard" font starts to mess up. You see that? It starts messing up. It doesn't stay the same way. So fonts don't really like grouping. You don't group fonts together. So how do you do this? What you're supposed to do is to highlight all of them and do copy instead. Then you come to home right here. Under paste, you go to the arrow and you do paste special. And then you click TIFF. Right? Then you come OK. Now it's like one picture. So even if you do this, watch the font reduces with the picture and the font increases with the picture. The Die Hard that we wrote. It's no more messing up. Okay? That's one way you can do it. The second way you can do it is to highlight everything, go to Shape Format, come here and click Combine. Maybe not combine, maybe union is the word I'm looking for. Union. So each one of them tells you what it's going to do. And we want everything to be together, and union looks better than combine. So union is what we're going for, not combine. So when you do union, this is a problem that you're going to have. You see? And why is that? Because all the elements are they're not original elements that we have. They're all a combination of one or two or three or four weirdness, right? When you're doing combine, you're doing something similar, but they're not all the same type of elements. They're not all the same type of shapes and blah, blah, blah. So you're going to be having a little of this problem, right? And for me to explain this very well, we need a much longer video and we don't have time for that, right? So in order to just avoid that, you can just do the paste special. So let me show you an example of things that could work with combine. If you had this and this, two of them, and you did combine, now they have become one, right? They have become one object, no more two objects, right? So things like that could work. But to do all of this together may not work. All right, so we have this. So this is gone. Back to this stuff. So you know how to put fade in, which is gradient. You know that what kind of fonts you're supposed to get. This kind, you know where to get fonts. You know how to get fonts. You know how to get pictures. You know how to put pictures, how to cut the pictures. You know how to make simple icons and where to get simple icons. You know everything. So imagine making this. You know how to put this. Just paint the background black, get an icon of Instagram, get an icon of this, put your name, boom, you have an Instagram picture. How do you do this? You get a picture, write this, you make this sides dark, 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 boom, you have this. Okay, but look at this. This is black and white. So your logo, you can choose what your logo is going to be for your business or blah. Or if you're just starting out, or you are the brand, like in my own case where I am the brand that I'm making, I will not have a logo. I will just put my name, Chinameram Andrew, and that's going to be it. So let's assume we wanted to do black and white like this one, right? So all we need to do here is what? We duplicate, we take the picture, we go to picture format, you go to, so you have corrections and you have color, right? You do different things. Corrections can increase or decrease the brightness and contrast. You see that right there? Color will change how the thing is going to appear, right? So you have, let's make it color saturation. We take out all the saturation so that it will be black and white. And that's how we get black and white. So this can't be blue anymore because we're now having black and white. So we change it back to our black. Okay? So you come here, you make it black, come here, make this one black, 100% transparent. Then you take this one and you make it black as well. But it's going to be 20% transparent. Okay, 20% transparent. All right. So maybe because it's not um, blue again, it's not acting the same way. So this is another thing. You don't just cram something and try to make it work by force. You should be able to adapt, right? So in this case now we don't need the center one, so I just removed it because we really don't need it. And this side shouldn't be completely 0% because look how dark it is. So you can make it to be a little um a little bit transparent, like 6%, 10%. Yeah, something like this. So it's still readable, someone can still read it, but it's not really black at the top. Okay, maybe I should do the same thing for this one, right? Instead of 20%, just something like that, like like a like a 35, like a 30% could do, right? Something like that. Okay, so you have this. All right, so in this case you have a black and white, you have a colored, you have a black and white, you have a colored, you have a black and white, you have a colored. Isn't that great? Am I messing with your eyes? Yes, I am. Okay, so you can do just that and then it will be fine. So we know how to do this one. Which other one does he have? He has this. He has this. What do you need for this? This picture and this text. You already know how to do that one, right? What do you need for this? You need emojis. So he said he made one key decision that allowed him the time and money to provide for his family. Key, and maybe this is family. I don't know, man. So how do you find that? This is where you get icons at iconfinder.com. Where you get emojis is at emojicopy.com, right? So in case if you're using a Mac, all you have to do is hold Command and Option and press space. So let me give you an example. If you're in a place that's typing now, Command Option space, and it brings out options for you to use emojis. But if you're not using it, you can come to Emoji Copy and you can find all the emojis that you will ever need in the whole wide world. So let's say we want key, for example. Oh, let's use snowflake. So it's going to put it here and then you can copy. I advise that you put all the emojis you're going to need at once so that you can just take them at once. So let's say we want chicken, we want a gorilla, and we want a Christmas tree. Right? This gorilla is not working here. So let's say we want the world. You press copy, right? And it will show copied. And when you come here, so again, duplicate so you don't mess up stuff. when you come here, you just do paste, Command V or Control V, or you right click and you press paste, right? However you want to do it. And then you increase this guy's font. Very simple to increase font. And right, you can just, let's say we take the world, copy it, and we put it here. Now we have keep moving forward, and then the world is there. Probably not a very good example. Let me use a good example. Let's say we have walking right here. Walking, and we have that dude who's walking. Or let's say swimming. Flying. Yeah, I like this one. This one looks better. So you can copy that, and then you can come here and you can paste it. And now keep moving forward. Jet. Moving forward. But what a coincidence. It's also blue, like our blue. The same blue and red, like our blue and red. Isn't that just hilarious? So we have this where we don't have it. And we have this where it's like jet is flying forward. And then we have the black and white version. So you know how to get emojis, right? Okay, so let's delete that. Let's delete the black and white version. And then we have, right, so back to this guy. So you see that everything that he's made here is possible for you to make, right? Okay? Sometimes you will not need to darken anything if you put it, because it's going to have black in its background. So if you just put your text, you can read it, right? Yeah, stuff like that. Sometimes, like this one, if the text was put somewhere here, it may not be legible, but since it's put here, you can read it. So let me give you another example of how you can use white on white. All right. So we had this problem. The reason we had all this blue fading in the first place was because we couldn't read this, right? Let me show you another way you can tackle it. If you close this one, we deleted that one, right? You can take the text itself and give it a shadow. So you come here, you put text options. So how do you get here? Let's say this is closed. You come here, you right click, you go to format shape, and that opens. Then you come to text options, and then you come to this one that has the funny effects. And then you go to shadows. You can also come here by simply clicking here and doing shape format, and then you come to this thing here, which is the shape effects, and you will still get to shadows. If you don't want to choose any of this, you can always click shadow options, and then this opens. You see? So same, you can get there multiple ways. Many of the things here you can get through multiple ways. Okay? So presets, I like using presets first and then I adjust. So this preset is good. Notice what happened. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to go back. So undo. Look at this and then watch it when I click this. Be watching it, boom. You see what happened? Yeah. So what you can do now is to increase the blur, which will make it all over the place, right? You see, as we increase the blur, it gives it kind of its own shadow that it can work with, right? You can reduce the transparency, making it a little darker, right? Right. And these are all the little things that you can do. Now, when you do all of that, you notice that the text kind of pops. It's no more bland the way it was. And you can put it in a place where it will be easy to read without putting. So for example, if I had something like this, I could left align everything instead of center align. So you know how to left align, you just come to home and you click this. This is center align, this is left align. Or you do Command L or Control L. To center align, you do Command E or Control E if you're on PC, right? So you can do something like this where it is in a place where it will be easily read. Bring your name down here And here we probably need this one to be real white, right? And then maybe give it its own shadow or something like that. So you see that we're able to make it legible even without putting all the shadows, right? So you can come, okay, so we have text options. Let's come back here. So shape format, look at all the shadows. But this is the text options that we're looking for. We had all the shadows here. We had them here. We can do all this good stuff. Good. And then you can even increase it. All right. So it's just around it. Okay. All right. So that's something that you can do. All right. And then it's going to be like this. Now there's one small thing that I want to differentiate with you for you, which I didn't differentiate when I was showing you here. This is shape effects. Shape effect affects the entire box, right? So let me remove everything about the shape effect and all of that. Let me just take out everything so that it's back to scratch where it was. Right. So this is how it was, right? So this is shape, and if you put shadow on shape, it affects the box, right? It puts shadow on everything in the box. And that's why you see something like this. But it's different from when you put text effect and you put shadow on the text itself, right? They're different. Initially, you're not going to notice it, but when you continue to amplify one, you will notice that the text works better for text and the shape works better if you're trying to put a shadow on, say, a square or a circle or something like that. Okay, but you can use both the shape one and the text one on the text, but I always advise that you use the text one, the text effect on the text and the shape effects on the shape. All right, so you're just keeping it cool. Okay, so this is something that you can do. Is very, very legible, and you don't need to put all the shadow. You can just do something like that. Even if you don't want to do something like that, you can bring it back up. You can actually change the color of what the shadow will be, right? Keeping it with the blue. You see I change it to the blue, and then making it slightly more transparent, less transparent, centralizing it around to keep moving forward, bringing this one up. And notice I'm just going to show you the big difference now between this and if you didn't have it. But in order to do that, I have to duplicate this one. Okay, this is not exactly how it was before. So let's take it back to how it was before. Oops. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's take it back to how it was before. All right. So this is how it was before. And all we did was we added shadow. Just showing you all different ways that you can do this. It's slightly not legible now. So we can make that shadow a little darker. Make the blur a little less blur, more blurry, so that it can go all over everywhere and block it seamlessly. Then we have that. Great. Okay, so it's legible here now, right? And then we bring this one up here. Great. So let me show you the difference now so that you see the difference. You see the difference? Let's make that big. You see, it's a little thing that we did, but look at the difference. See the difference? This one, you're seeing the keep moving forward, but you're struggling. This one, you're seeing it more easily. just by putting this one is not going to be great for everything, but you see how it's practical and how it's applicable, right? And then this one is a completely different one that really brings attention to what you want to say and what you're writing. Okay, so in order of preference for me, depending on the style you're going for, in order of preference, this is how it's going to be. I'm going to choose this one, and then in second place, I'll choose this one, and then I will never be caught dead using this one. Maybe if my life is at stake, I could use it, but other than that, nah. So I like this one. So we've seen that we're able to replicate almost everything here. The only thing that we are not able to do is the what? The videos. Because to do videos, you need to actually make a video of yourself running like this guy, right? Great. You can't just create a video on PowerPoint, but you can do animations on PowerPoint, and that will definitely be a second training. So before I wrap this up, let me tell you how to make this into a picture. All you have to do is to come here and say File, and then you go to Export, right? And then you click PNG or JPEG. So I always use PNG or JPEG, right? I'm going to use JPEG now, right? And then you determine the size that you want it to be. I'm just going to leave it like this. I like, for Instagram especially, I like to put it above what Instagram's own is. So if Instagram is doing it at 1080, I like to do my own above, because when you put it so that it's going to be extremely high quality clear. All right. So we'll put only save current slide, and we'll name it as keep moving forward. Right. And then when we do that, we can put it here, export, and that's it. So it's on my desktop now. So if I go to my desktop, is it here? Where did I save it? Do y'all see where I saved it? Let's go try that again. All right. So I came here and I said export. Where did it go to save? Oh, it went to save in downloads. Look at that. I wasn't even looking at that. It went to save in downloads. So this is downloads. And then I have the PowerPoint, and I have the keep moving forward right here. So if I open keep moving forward, this is what everybody's going to see, how it's going to be seen. If you look at this on phone, it's going to be a lot clearer, right? So we always want to make it big so that when it's on a tiny phone, it's so clear. People are shocked how you have that kind of high quality. All right. So you can always save this. Why I like to save this is so that whenever I come back to make a new design, I don't have to be thinking of what font I used here. I can just copy this one, paste it, make a new one, right? So if I already have something like this, the Chinemerim is already made, the keep moving forward is already made. So let's assume I want to make a new picture. You'll notice how it's going to be a lot faster now, right? So let me show you from scratch, right? So first of all I need to do is to delete this picture, come over here, find maybe on Splash, find like a car, find a very rich looking car, come over here, download the rich looking car. You see how quickly this is going to be now, car. And then I'll come here, I'll put the cars my picture background, just like that. I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna take it away. Oops, looks like I needed it. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back. It looks like I really needed it. And then I'll put something like, so it's not good to repeat the same style over and over again. So instead I'm going to bring this one down, take this one here, and make it cliche stuff. Money can buy happiness. But I'm never going to say something like that because I like having a lot of money so that I can buy stuff and do stuff with money and reinvest and stuff like that. So give me a nice quote. I wish y'all could be here so that you could give me quotes. But you're not here. So I have to find quotes all by myself and quote to quote. So let's look at a quote like this and see if it inspires. All right. And then you could just find something very simple like this is why I grind. Okay. Let's make that to look nice. This is why I grind. Every day. Blah. Something like that. You get a point I'm making. So make all of that to enter into just 2 lines. I just want 2 lines. Great. We have that. It's centered. We have the name of the we have the name here, right? And I'm not always going to use this to edit, but sometimes I'm going to use affinity because I really like affinity. But today I'm just going to use this one to make everything so that I can show you how you don't need high tech. You can use it to make your designs a little different, right? Like if you have there are certain things you can obviously do with affinity that you cannot do with this stuff. So yeah. But if you're just starting out, this is a very good way to just start out. Absolutely brilliant. So you see what I'm doing there? I'm giving this a little space to enjoy itself. Alright, this is why I grind every day. And then let's see if I could have a different kind of font that say Barbados. I like Barbados sometimes. Not today. Let's go back to keep calm font. Alright, so you see that very simply. So once you make the first one, you can just take the same font, make the second one. You can take the same thing, make the third one, so whenever you want to make something like this, it's very simple. You can do it. If you spend a lot of time making a different kind of stuff. So let's say you spend a lot of time making something like this, right? Something with text at the top, text at the bottom. Just save the template, man. Save it so that the next, or something like this, right? This at the top and this picture. Just save it because the next time you're going to come to design, it's going to be a lot easier and a lot faster to do it. Like you've seen, this one took a while, mostly because I was teaching how to do it as I was doing it. But this one just took seconds, right? And most of the time was spent on thinking of what quotes that I was going to use. So if you already have your quotes ready and your message ready, you can do that. What do? You come here and you say export. You know how this is done. You know what we do. You choose the file type. I choose JPEG. I do only save current slide and then save it as, say, I grind. You know, maybe I grind every day can be said in a prettier way. I grind daily. Yeah, something like that. Right, this is why I grind daily. And then you export that. Right, export that as JPEG. I grind daily. Cool. And so now what do you have? You have 2 pictures. You have the I grind daily picture, you have keep moving forward picture, and just like that, you've designed Photoshop things with PowerPoint. Okay, so that's the entire tutorial. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. I'll see you on another video.